Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Huh? It's a house!
There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp. Stupid as being nice.
What's going on, freaks? Yeah, we went to the, they took me to Benihana's tonight. I hadn't been there in like 20-something years, at least. It's the same act every time, every one of them. They say the same things over and over again. Hey Matt, that guy's a lunatic. Don't ever say that in here again. Let's see. Yeah, so I hadn't been to Benihana's, man. I'm so full right now. I actually realize what women feel like when they're 9 months pregnant. Okay, it's my stomach was just like, sucked. That's not cool, Gray. You have no idea what it felt like, you bastard. Member for 14 months. Been almost like 3 years. I love my freak family. Alright. Missy 6. Very cool. But don't forget, you guys, tonight's another show, so if you guys have the ability during the show to help support the channel, that would be awesome. Always gets more energy going if we get some at the beginning of the show as we're moving forward. Yeah. To work together and come up with the best ideas. Well, we know what the ideas are. George Webb doesn't have good ideas. They are lunatic, fringe stuff. I'm sorry to actually say his name, but I've encountered him in multiple true crime cases that I've covered, and he's never accurate. He's never right. And for the fact that you're out there following somebody like that just shows you have a lack of something. I don't know what it is, but, you know. So quit mentioning that person's name. He's one of the most ridiculous people that have ever shown up on any site, you know, social media. It's insane. The stuff he said during the Delphi case was ridiculous, okay? Yeah, don't worry about who the person is. Yeah, he's just an absolute lunatic on every single case that he covers. It's just like he just shows up and, oh, I'm boots on the ground, therefore, and he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Yeah. All right, guys, we're still at 0. Let's see if we can get movement going before we get started into the show. I wanted to show you guys this crazy thing right here, though. Look at this. This has got to be the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Next to George Webb's videos.
Arcos case, People versus Corey Harris.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Tate for Mr. Harris, who should be present via Zoom.
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second.
I mean, good for him. He was trying not to miss his court appearance.
I'm parking right now.
Hey,
This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen, man.
You stationary?
I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
All right.
Hey, thanks,
What are we
Sherlock.
doing?
Your
think
Honor,
so.
we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly 2 to 4 weeks if the court would allow.
He wants to do an adjournment.
Thank you for all your great work.
She's like, let's adjourn this.
Okay. So maybe I don't understand something. This is a driving while license suspended?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Yeah, he's this guy is calling into a court hearing with a license, driving without a license. And here he is driving in his car when he pulls up to the, I mean, it's the stupidest thing.
Your Honor.
So the judge is
And he
already
was just driving.
Yeah, he goes, well, he's already driving. Look at this.
That is correct, Your Honor.
And he was just driving.
Yeah.
And he didn't have a license.
This guy
the charges,
can't even,
Your Honor,
he
yes.
can't even talk right
No,
here. Look at
I'm
this.
looking at his
Yes.
record. He doesn't have a license. He's suspended and he's just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Jeez, I've never seen this before. Right? Can I say something? This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Hello?
1 minute, Mr. Harris.
I mean, even the prosecution was like, oh, jeez. They're laughing, I guess.
I don't even know why he would do that. So defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant is to turn himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
I mean, I almost can't even be real. It's so stupid. It's just, look at that.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
He calls in driving with a suspended license. So that means he's driving again with a suspended. I mean, just crazy. Yeah, it's unreal. Anyways, Judge Hipler, obviously, it was kind of my bad the other day because this is what I was looking at the other day. Watch, I went like this. I went over here and I went, okay, this one, I read these three, and they were really boring, stupid things. But as they've been doing, I forgot to look. Look at this. Look at all these way back here that they've unsealed. See those? Way down there. So they unsealed all of those. And then there's even one, I think even further, right there. So this one way down there and from January. So I downloaded all these. I didn't do these three because they were boring. But thought I'd take a look at it. All right. So let's do... I think what I'm going to start off with are things that I think would be interesting. You know, the trial brief. The state's trial brief and the defendant's trial brief. All right. And then we'll go to the exhibit list. And now it gave me a whole lot more to ask for in FOIA requests. I'm going in your side. I don't know what that means, Matt. I don't know what that means. I can argue. Look, there's no argument on the other side, Matt. See, when conspiracy theorists argue with you, there's no argument. You can't argue with them because they'll just claim something to be true without any evidence whatsoever that it's true. Okay? So you need to... The truth is, Matt, Tyler Robinson... I'm moving to that case for a second. Tyler Robinson is the killer. He's the shooter. Whether or not somebody else talked to him and helped him along the way, which wouldn't shock me one bit, that might be a truth. The reality is the shot came from exactly where they said it came from. Tyler Robinson's parents have recognized him. His DNA was on the trigger. He is the killer. Now, you can listen to idiots like Webb and all the other dumb shits out there. I'm actually really angry that they've done this to all of you guys. You know, you act like they have credibility. They haven't been doing this shit for more than a month. I've been doing true crime for, I'd say, 8 years, doing live streams, and like 12 altogether. And I know what I'm doing. Okay, these people don't have a clue what they're doing. They're just running out here, throwing out absolute garbage. Same crap happened in the Kohberger case. These idiots coming up with their own channel because they're onto something, and they aren't. They're just on to creating confusion and getting people to watch their channel from a conspiratorial drama position. Okay, now you're more than welcome to go watch those guys, but I'm not going to be doing that here. I think it's embarrassing as hell. They shouldn't even be in the true crime genre. They should be thrown into something else, bullshit channel. Maybe there should be a genre called BS, Put them all in there. You can go in there too, Matt. Well, you don't have to, look at Matt, I don't care if you want to pick a side. If somehow you're convinced of over there, you're going to be wrong. Now, you can be that person, or you can be a person who actually has a brain and goes with where the facts are pointed. All right? See, look how mean Gray is to his viewers. I'm just so sick of it right now. I'm just sick of it. You guys are an embarrassment. Every one of you. The ones that sit there and give credibility for even 2 seconds on those damn videos. And I'm really sick of is I put out the factual videos that are really good, clean, boom, boom, boom. No, you guys don't watch it, man. You got to have the real shooters over here and believe just garbage. It's sick and frustrating. But anyways, you guys, we're really slow tonight, so if you guys could please help support the channel. We are only on $10 and 0 channel memberships, and at this rate, we won't come anywhere near the goal. So if we could please help support the channel tonight, I would appreciate it as we're moving along. That would be awesome. Because at the rate we're going now, and I dared to switch topics tonight. Back to the Kohberger case. So let's see what happens. It's already different. I don't know if you can see, but it's pretty crazy. Yeah, happy Sunday. Yeah, it is. It sucks. All right, I'm going to do the... hey, thanks. Amber Maiden, or Bronco Girl Amber, who happens to be a Denver Bronco fan. I think she's more of a Bronco fan than just about anything else in her entire world. That's like her, when the Broncos are playing, you can forget it. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't matter if we have a different group of people. Let's keep the support for the channel going, you guys. Yeah, that's what we do here. This channel's donated $265,000. I try to get ad revenue, all kinds of stuff going on the channel, so that at the end of the month we can also donate thousands of dollars as well. So that's just how it's been. If you're not interested in that, that's cool too. Hold on a second. Got so many windows open, I gotta shut them down. This one, Jesus, like 100,000 windows. Just I forgot to close them down. Those are what create lag. Oh yeah, and somebody on Twitter actually had a repository for the all the different video shots in the Charlie Kirk case. It was pretty interesting that that's out there. All right, there we go. I just close those down, and now we're back to this one. Yeah. Hey, welcome, Thomas Roman Sr. All right, so this is going to be the, this is the state's trial brief right here. It says, in the early morning hours of November, we'll just go through what they wrote. It's 15 pages. I might skip through the charges and all that stuff. Or maybe, let's see. In the early morning hours of November 13, 2022, defendant Bryan Kohberger, a PhD student in criminology, Washington State University, drove his car approximately 10 miles from his apartment complex in Pullman, Washington, to the campus of the University of Idaho in Moscow, Idaho. Defendant circled a house near the University of Idaho campus at 1122 King Road several times before he parked his car, entered that house. I mean, man, this is exactly what we've said millions of times. Entered that house and used a military-style knife to stab to death the following University of Idaho students: Ethan Chapin, Kaylee Gonzalez, Xander Kernodle, and Madison Mogan. For this defendant is charged with burglary and 4 counts of first-degree murder. The state is seeking the death penalty if defendant is convicted of any of the first-degree murder counts. The trial in this case will tell the story of defendant's crimes and the investigation that led to his arrest. It's almost like the opening statement. The evidence will prove to the jury not only that defendant is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of all crimes charged in the indictment, but also that given all relevant facts and circumstances, defendant's crimes warrant the death penalty. And these are the charges. We've seen those. The state has provided notice of intent to seek the death penalty. Hey, look at how big the, let me make that a little bit smaller. That's pretty big, I gotta be honest with you. How about we'll put that like right up there.
Goat emoji and reading fund.
Thank you. KMTX and Lisa Valenzuela. Now, Zozo said she'd seen some references to documents and that I went back out and checked, and then Lisa said something, and I was like, what are you talking about? And it turns out that the documents that I just missed all those other pages. I didn't scroll down. I forgot that they do that. Yeah, that's all right. If you know, the thing is if you can't afford to support the channel, then don't do it. I mean, I don't want somebody sending their last dollars or something where it affects their life or something. But on my channel, we try to, you know, have good nights every single night of the month. If that means I have to bring in, you know, do videos. I wasn't able to do a video today. And, you know, you get people gift channel memberships, super chats, super thanks, all the different things combined. And then at the end of the month, you know, obviously my channel has support too. And then we donate thousands of dollars of extra to various true crime related charities, and we're at $265,000 since January of 2020. All right. So I think it's a pretty noble cause. It'd be kind of cool if all of these people doing these videos in the Charlie Kirk case that are making conspiratorial videos with making thousands and thousands of dollars per video, if they were doing the same thing at the end of each month. But they won't be doing that. For them, it's a gold rush. All right. Hey, thanks, Lisa Valenzuela, for gifting a membership. Yeah, I've been covering this case the entire time, Don. I mean, since day one, really. And if you go back and watch my videos, they're the best videos that there are on the entire case. Except, again, people like to watch the conspiratorial videos, thinking that Bryan Kohberger wasn't the guy. It's one of the most obvious cases in the world. The only case I've seen that's beaten this case is the Tyler Robinson case. Yeah. Yeah, I've covered this case since about 2 days after they were murdered. And if you go back and I have over 100 videos on this case, right? So, yeah. So it's not like, I mean, I was covering this all the way up until Charlie Kirk, and Charlie Kirk's case is exactly the other type of case that I'm really good at covering, because I know, the mapping and the, surveillance footage and stuff like that is how I can put the pieces of the puzzle together. So, yeah, I mean, I have put together this case in a way that other people have not been able to do, nor do they want to. So, it just is what it is. Man, I gotta get my iced tea filled up here. No, it's not gray. It's pure whiskey. All right, here we go. Now, so the state provided notice of intent to seek the death penalty based on 4 aggravating circumstances. At the time of the murder was committed, defendant also committed another murder. The murder was especially heinous, atrocious, or cruel, manifesting exceptional depravity. By the murder or circumstances surrounding its commission, defendant exhibited utter disregard for human life. Defendant, by his conduct, whether such conduct was before, during, or after the commission of the murder at hand, has exhibited a propensity to commit murder, which will probably constitute a continuing threat to society. The state's requested jury instruction also cover the penalty phase. So here's the case here, I guess. As detailed below, the state's case in chief will involve presenting significant amounts of evidence over the course of many weeks, if not months. Wow. See, I mean, that trial would have been so amazing because it would have gone on, and we could have just kept putting it all together. During opening statements, the state intends to show the jury certain selected exhibits and certain jury instructions to facilitate the state's overview of the evidence. Pursuant to the court's redacted order governing further criminal proceedings and notice of trial settings dated October 9, 2024, the parties are required to file a log of objection to exhibits by May 14, 2025. Yeah. And if you go back and watch my videos on the case, just watch the videos. Okay, don't watch the live streams are too long and they just go on and on. But I would just go watch the videos. So hit the video section and go watch those. But is there any chance tonight we could do one of those nights where we don't have any lulls and I don't have to keep asking, hey, you guys, if you could help support the channel? Because we still haven't had one of those. Last night was one. I was on another channel, so I wasn't able, other than typing in. But, if you guys could do it just one of these nights, where it's actually a live stream where I'm interacting and I don't have to keep asking to get to the goals that we're trying to do. All right. Let's see. Now, the state currently finalizing its witness list. And I guess they have categories of witnesses. The state will call law enforcement specialists who collectively conducted the forensic investigation in the case. These include those who possess specialized knowledge, skills, experience. They're going to bring in family members of the defendant. So apparently they were going to bring in the sister of Kohberger. The state intends to call family members of defendant for the purpose of establishing certain facts before defendant moved to Pullman in late summer of 2022. As well as facts about defendant's conduct when he returned home. I mean, that's amazing. So they really were going to call the family members up there. foundational witness. The state will be prepared to call all witnesses necessary to authenticate the exhibits it will introduce at trial. This will include calling witnesses who can attest to the chain of custody for physical exhibits. Hey, thanks, Nader Bader, Whiskey Boots, and Bruce Holdaway. Consideration and requests regarding individual witnesses. The state will call two roommates. That's going to be Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk. Roommates of the murder victims who were present in the 1122 King Road housing during the house during the murders. These witnesses were 19 years old at the time of the murders. They have been understandably traumatized by what transpired and are victims of the burglary offense. They have received death threats, and these are by the same kind of lunatics that are in the Charlie Kirk case. Can you imagine that, you guys? Two surviving roommates of 4 people that were killed by a person named Bryan Kohberger. They get threats by these lunatics who believe that Kohberger is innocent of the crime because they are stupid people. Okay? And so what they do is they go out and they threaten the life of the surviving roommates. How disgusting is that? And that's what we've been dealing with this whole time. The state is concerned that a video of the witnesses' testimony is broadcast on the live stream. Individuals outside of court could screen capture images of them and circulate them on the internet in harmful ways. Accordingly, the state requests that the court pause the video live stream. I don't know, why do they have to pause? Yeah, pause the video, but the audio is just... Okay, but not the audio. There it goes. During the testimony of these victims, witnesses to protect their privacy to the extent possible. So I'd be totally okay with that. You know, I mean, I'd like to see them, but they are 19 adults. But given the fact that what they've had to go through, just hearing what they say is good enough. You know, it's never going to happen now. But the court should grant the state request pursuant to Idaho Administrative Rule 32. As an initial matter, the state request does not prevent public access to the witnesses' testimony. The public will be able to hear their testimony, and members of the public who are present in the courtroom will be able to see the witnesses as they testify. This is consistent with the vast majority of trials in the state of Idaho which are not live streamed. Effectively, the state request simply prevents the images of the witnesses from being re-recorded and disseminated in potentially harmful ways. Yeah, because these guys would, if there was any kind of a smile about something, they'll claim it. Oh, look at they're smiling. Well, these are sick people. The witnesses' voices and the content of their testimony will still be available on the live stream. As such, the state request presents the last restriction exemption from disclosure. Yeah. Let's see. And currently we're at $19.99 and 10 channel memberships. So we're like about a fifth of the nightly goal. Several witnesses, namely the surviving roommates and other friends of the victims, are young people whose lives have been upended by the trauma of the murders and the aftermath caused by the intense media attention on this case. Some are represented by counsel, and most have family members who intend to attend. God, intend to attend. That's weird. The trial to support them when they testify. Anticipating that courtroom seating may be scarce, the state asks that the court allow for counsel and family members of these witnesses to be seated in the courtroom when the witnesses testify. The state will provide advance notice to the court and its staff. Lead case investigators at counsel table. Thanks, Jessica Schubach. The state is designating Moscow Police Department Corporal Brett Payne and ISP Sergeant Darren Gilbertson as its advisory witness. Let's see. What's down here? Segment. The state intends to present the testimony of investigators and other witnesses in segments. Yeah, okay. Exchange of witness schedule. The parties are discussing...
No lulls tonight. Freeze.
That's right, Bruce. No lulls, for God's sakes. And we all know, we feel the lulls, don't we? Oh, jeez. I'll tell you one of the things tonight, my kid ordered it was like tofu steak, and he was so excited. He thought it was like steak and tofu. And then when the guy gets there, he's just cooking up these tofu blocks. Who the hell calls a tofu a steak? Give me a break. So I kind of gave him some of my food too, but felt bad. You know. Thanks, Bruce Holdaway. The state is currently finalizing its exhibit list. We have that. Physical items. The state will introduce physical items obtained throughout the investigation, including, but not limited to, items taken from 1122 King Road, probably the knife sheath, defendant's apartment in Washington, defendant's parents' residence in Pennsylvania, and evidence gathered from defendant upon his arrest. The state also will be prepared to introduce, as necessary, physical samples that were tested by law enforcement forensic laboratories. Thank you, Wild Bill. The state will introduce photographs, the initial crime scene and related searches of the crime scene, the victim's autopsies, the search of defendant's residence in Pullman, the search of defendant's parents' residence in Pennsylvania, the search of defendant's vehicle and person. The state will also introduce maps generated from satellite images to show relevant locations, and probably from Google Earth, and defendant's path of travel at relevant times. I probably have exactly the same thing. The state will also introduce diagrams of the 1122 King Road house and the crime scene. We also have audio and video files. The state will introduce the audio of the 911 telephone call. We have that alerted authorities to the crime scene. In addition, the state will introduce one body camera footage for law enforcement officers reporting to the scene. 2, body camera footage of a traffic stop of defendant several months prior to the night of the murders. 3, surveillance of a white sedan around the area of the crime scene and path of travel following the murders. The state may elect to introduce only portions of the video files for purpose of efficiency. Right. I mean, that's kind of how I did it. I just took the video files that are out there and took out the parts that, there's nothing going on, so then you can just keep tracking the vehicle. Like, for example, if you have a vehicle driving by, let's say you have 5 minutes on one camera and 5 minutes on another camera, but at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, it goes by one camera, and then 2 minutes and 40 seconds, it drives by the next camera. You don't need to put in all the dead time in between. You just kind of sync it up. And even if it's blank on both cameras, you just keep one camera going until it hits the other spot, and then boom, you do it all in time sequence like that. You don't have to sit there and waste time. Well, hey, watch 5 minutes. Okay, so see how this one... at this time, it was actually just a couple seconds after the other shot. It's stupid to do it that way. Hey, thank you, Jeffrey Sidal. I say it different every time. Let's see, background records. The state will introduce various records to establish evidentiary facts such as identity, residency, education, forensic data. The state will introduce data generated by law enforcement forensic analysts who process evidence in the case. The state will introduce summaries of voluminous evidence, example financial records, phone records, etc., which are admissible. in-life photos of victims. The state intends to introduce the photos of each of the deceased victims in this case while they were still living in life photos to prove the obvious but necessary fact that they were human beings. That's kind of dumb. Hey, thanks, Michelle H. Yeah. Let's see. So I guess it's some kind of statute that, you got to do that. The Idaho Supreme Court ruled that the trial court did not abuse its discretion by permitting the state to introduce in-life photographs of a murder victim because the photographs were relevant to prove the victim was a human being and to establish identity. It did not, I know, but they want to put it in so that it humanizes them for the jury, so they see what they look like before the autopsies come out. So then you can have that, but it does seem like there's something that backs up being able to do that. I agree with it. It did not matter that the evidence was not disputed. It was still material and relevant. Physical items. Hey, thanks, Christine, for gifting, as well as Michelle H. The state will present various physical items as exhibits, including items from the crime scene, items seized from defendant, and items that were the basis of forensic examinations, electronic devices and swabs and samples of biological materials that were tested. To expedite the trial, the state intends to use photographs of the physical items as much as possible, subject to the court ruling on any objections from defendant as to authenticity, chain of custody, or foundation. The state will endeavor to raise such issues that the court, in advance of trial, after it receives defendant's objections. And then they got the graphic photographs here. Ah, jeez. The state necessarily will have to show graphic and disturbing images of the crime scene and of the deceased victims. I gotta turn down put my air conditioner on for a second. Oh wow, it was way up there. I think I had it like on 1,000 degrees. Oh, it's pretty hot. Yeah, we missed out on a lot. I think it would have been a great trial. That's right, Ice Ice Baby. I think I'm going to be relegated to asking multiple times. All right, the state necessarily will have to show graphic and disturbing images of the crime scene and of the deceased victims' bodies. The state will be selective in doing so and will not present unduly cumulative exhibits. Prior to calling a witness, through which graphic photographs will be introduced, the state will provide advance warning to the court and to the families of the deceased victims so that the family members can decide whether to leave the courtroom. That'd be a tough decision, The state also requests that the court pause the video of the live stream and turn off the public courtroom monitors when graphic exhibits are published to the jury. Again, as with testimony of the surviving housemates, the state is concerned that individuals would capture these images and distribute them in harm. Of course they would. I mean, of course, if it was streamed, they would do that. The court has the discretion to grant this request under Idaho Court Administrative Rule. The state understands at least one court has adopted a similar procedure in other capital murder case that was live streamed. Self-authenticating records. Now let's go where, Hundy Bills? Where are we going? Many of the state's exhibits are self-authenticating records where applicable. The state is gathering records, certifications to support the admission of these exhibits pursuant to Rule 902 of the Idaho Rules of Evidence and will disclose the certification to defendant. To the extent that the defendant will still lodges objections to these exhibits based on authentication or foundation, the state will seek to raise them with the court prior to trial to avoid using trial time to resolve such disputes. Demonstrative exhibits. Probably like the House. The state anticipates some of the witnesses will use demonstrative exhibits to assist the jury in understanding their testimony and the evidence. The state understands that demonstrative exhibits do not need to be disclosed as part of the exhibit list, but at the court's discretion will be prepared to disclose demonstrative aids before they are used by a witness. Accordingly, the state asks that defendant also disclose any demonstrative aids prior to their use. I don't know if I want to read this foundation thing here. The penalty phase, defendant disclosed 6 penalty phase experts on March 31st with over 200 pages of reports and exhibits. A defense counsel is in the process of doing, let's see, the state filed a request for defendant to supplement this disclosure. Defense counsel is in the process of doing so. Additionally, on April 8th, 2025, defendant made additional mitigation disclosure that may be relevant to anticipated expert testimony regarding defense mental conditions. Thank you, Christine. Yeah, we're still only at like 30% of the goal.
Gray, if BK did go to trial, would you have gone to the trial the whole time?
No, because I would have. No, because it was streamed. If I went to the trial, I wouldn't be able to stream it and share it with all the freaks. I was totally ready to go. The entire trial was going to be streamed on a website, and I was just going to stream it live. It was a direct feed right from the courthouse, and we were going to watch it together. I have all the maps. I built a 3D model of the entire house. I have all these amazing 360-degree videos of the area, and we were just ready to go. I actually traveled there in July, and Amber Maiden was there, and I was there to, sort of get some last-minute shots of different things, and then on the second day I was there, I think it was Lillian. She calls me on the phone and says, Kohberger pled guilty. And it just was like the biggest wind out of the sails I've ever had, you know. It was just like, I know exactly what we were doing. Me and Amber were flying my drone, and I think she tried to fly it a little bit, and we're just sort of on this curvy road. And she was flying the drone, and then all of a sudden a phone call, or, like around that time, a phone call came in. Remember that? That was crazy. I was like, just brutal. Yeah, that was the third time I was at Moscow, Idaho, too. So I'd been on the ground there multiple times. I knew the layout. I knew the thing is, it was just, that's why the case was so obvious. It's just like simple case. At first it was kind of like, okay, I don't know. As soon as the probable cause document came out, see, Gray, you just go with the government narrative. I just looked at it, went through it, and they had some errors in there. I see those, but those aren't the errors that, matter. It's like when they said Idaho, right? Well, it was Johnson, Washington is what they meant to say. There's a Johnson, Idaho that's way out in the middle of nowhere. That's not what they were talking about. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, if I go that one, or I think I do have. I think I have that somewhere in here. I don't know if I have that anymore. Anyways, you guys, we're struggling again here. So if you guys are out there and you have the ability to help support the Grant Hughes Investigates YouTube channel, just trying. We're doing Kohberger tonight. I was also looking at the robbery, the theft at the Louvre. That was pretty interesting. I mean, these idiots. I mean, they're not idiots. They pulled up and put like one of those utility ladders up on the side of the building, and they go walking inside, and they go in there, and they just start breaking in and stealing, priceless items that nobody even knows what they're worth. It's just ridiculous. They were in there for 7 minutes. Where the hell was security? I was looking at that. I found immediately. Today I was just like on fire looking at something I'd see on a map. Like there was protests in Chicago. What the heck? Whoa! Is that Kay Miller again? Holy crap! Hey, thanks.
Appreciate the awesome coverage, Reck.
Wow, that's so kind. Thank you so much. We got Dixie Hippie too. We wanted a trial, but Gray, I'm never watching again.
We wanted a trial. Crying face emoji. Crying face emoji. But Ryan. Ocean
Give us
emoji,
Vinny, but Gray.
Never watching again.
Yeah. Which one? This one? Or the I'm never watching again one? I do have that one. They used an angle grinder. Yeah, an angle grinder. Yeah, exactly. Those little. Yeah, it's just ridiculous, so they were dressed. I didn't see the part where they were dressed in Louvre security. Here, I'll show you really quick, though. I do have this, so hold on. We'll get right back to this. I just want to... Yeah, I was able to just like quickly go around the building and figure out exactly where the ladder... So apparently, like, somehow they pulled up... There was like a truck. They backed up right to this spot right here. It doesn't really look like that currently. If you go down to... hold on. Why is it doing this? Oh yeah, I got to get rid of that. I don't know why there it is. Yeah, so right here they pulled this little truck in with a ladder that went right up to the window, up here onto this little balcony. Then they broke through that one. Just gonna break down here. But they broke through that one window on the right there. And got in there. It was nuts. I might do something on it like tomorrow or something. Anyways, penalty phase. The state is still suggesting these. I don't really care about that. The state appreciates the opportunity to raise the foregoing considerations with the court. It stands ready to address any questions that the court may have to assist with any procedure the court would like to implement to ensure an efficient and fair trial that protects defendants' rights, the rights of the victim witnesses, and the families of the deceased victims, the rights of the public and press, and the interests of the people of Latah County and the state of Idaho in achieving justice in the case. All right, so that's the prosecution's trial brief. So it's kind of interesting, right? Like that's how they were going to go through it. The heck? Oh, that's my stats. All right, here we go. Let me go on this thing. The State's trial brief. And then right here we go to defendant's trial brief. I think that one's going to be interesting. I got it opened up on a completely different monitor way over there. Defendant's trial brief. So this is going to be how they were going to do it. I think this might be pretty interesting, don't you think? Which movies? Scoring 33 points in the fourth quarter after scoring 0 the whole game. They did that, the Broncos? That 33 in football in a quarter is ludicrous. I mean, that's like, that never even happens. Especially in that league. Hello, Lisa Belson. Oh, Lisa Belson is blue now. Did you see that? She's always so nice to everybody. You ever seen that? Let's see. Hey, that's a ton of points. Yeah, 33 and a quarter. That's nuts. Olivia posted a TikTok saying Kaylee's injuries were called experimental and not necessarily were defensive wounds. Experimental? What do you mean? What does that mean? Can you send me a link to the TikTok on my email? I was trying to get hold on. I was trying to get permission because there was an interview with Ashley Banfield with Steve and Olivia. It seemed like it was pretty interesting. Yeah. So it comes now, Bryan Kohberger buying through his attorneys, blah, 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 blah. So this is jury selection. I want to see the evidentiary stuff. It is expected that issues surrounding relevance, remoteness, and complete defense will be raised throughout trial. Proof of alibi, alternate perpetrators, and the exclusion of expert opinions due to incomplete expert disclosures will be an issue throughout trial. See, look, they're already saying, oh man, we're screwed. There's no alternate perpetrators. There's no proof of an alibi. Suppression motions and motions in limine filed with the court. I mean, let me just, for the Kohberger people out there, if he didn't do it, so we got he pled guilty, and in the pleading guilty, he confessed because he had to say, did you do these things? Yes, I did. And then he gave away his right to an appeal. Now, if he didn't do it, wouldn't he just provide an alibi of some kind? Just something? You know, he never has. And the reason he never has is because he knows exactly where he was. He was killing the 4 college students. All right? That's what he was doing. Anyways, thanks again up there, K. Miller. And if you're out there and you have the ability to help support the channel, we got to keep on trucking. We're still not even there. We're at, like, I don't know, 70% now. Let's see. I'm 6 minutes behind. Yeah, exactly, Grace. Such a strong... Yeah, it's... yeah, so the Kohberger case was one of the strongest cases I've seen. And then, what was even stronger is the Charlie Kirk case. I mean, Tyler Robinson absolutely is the killer in that case. There's no doubt about it. Hey, thank you, Lisa Belson. Very kind, very kind. And you're always so kind to everybody that I thought you'd be a good moderator if you want to be one. I don't know. People don't have to, you know, and it doesn't mean anything's different. It just means that you have the ability, like if someone is trashing the channel, you can block them or whatever, or time them out. So I want you guys to time people out. I'll look at their comment and then decide whether or not to remove them based on what they said. And we only remove the people who trash the channel or attacking, you know, moderators or anybody, you know, members or whatever the hell they're doing. I mean, it's just kind of obvious when that happens. All right, it doesn't change, you know, you don't have to be here anymore or anything like that. All right, that's what I tell the moderators. Man, there's only one non-member or moderator that's commenting, and it's B. Ann Summers. And the professor from Pennsylvania said when she heard his alibi, she knew he understood that wouldn't be okay. Well, what did she hear? What his alibi mean about him going to Wawawe Park, or what we thought was Wawawe Park? I don't know what happened there. I always knew it was Wawawe Park, but somehow when I got there, it looked like there was like multiple other Wawawa. When I was with Amber, I was like, "Is that Wawawe? What the hell is that thing?" It seemed like it was like way more, but then when I looked at it again, no, it still says Wawawe. Yeah, and by the way, Wawawe Park was impossible to get to, given the fact that his phone pinged near Blaine. It was impossible for him to get from near Blaine all the way back up into Pullman, Washington, and then going also to Wawawe Park. It's just impossible. It's just, you know, so that whole thing about, you know, he likes to drive at night. That's kind of his alibi, you know. What he was doing that night, we don't really know, but, you know, he likes to drive, you know. It was so stupid. It was embarrassing, you know. That's why, I mean, after I've reevaluated the whole thing, I think Ann Taylor was really kind of knew the writing on the wall about a month or two into this thing and just said, you know, listen, we got to figure out a way to get this guy to plead guilty here. He's not willing, though, now. He thinks he can beat this thing. And they just kept going and going and going. And they kept saying, you know, it's not looking good for you because they've got this now and they've got this. No, come on, we can still do it. And then I think there was a final time when they said, you know what? This is not going well for you. We've got a couple more things up our sleeves. We can go for an extension based on the leak to Dateline. We're going to go for the third-party suspects. You know, and then they tried those things and they went, you know. It didn't work for them, okay? Didn't work. And then they looked at Kohberger again and said, hey, this is it right here. We didn't get what we needed right there. And hey, I'm going to make these sound effects all day. K. Miller likes them. Here we go. All right. Yeah, and then he just said, okay. And that's when they decided to plead guilty. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. I think he is actually the rare true. Yeah. I think he might have had, like we were saying, remember? Because I think he's got some, like, autism in there, too, though. You know, some sort of, because of the way he moves, or, you know. Like, I've seen, you know, we've seen the psychopaths. Like, that's what Ted Bundy kind of is, right? Isn't he? I mean, so I think Ted Bundy's a psychopath. And he was able to really function and seem sort of normal. But Kohberger doesn't seem, he's just sort of, there's something like, you know, antisocial. Usually psychopaths are pretty good at that, faking stuff. Yeah, so that's what I think. We looked that up the other day. It was so... Remember that? Not the other day, like over a month ago. We looked up psychopaths and like autism connected. And it was like, when you read it, it was exactly Kohberger. It was crazy. Yeah, it was absolutely insane. Yeah. Let's see. Preventing the introduction of inflammatory evidence. I always hate crap like that. What do you mean? If it's inflammatory, it is inflammatory. It just is what it is, you know? Such as irrelevant and unfairly prejudicial photographs. Like what? Testimony and exhibits in the... Like, you're showing a crime scene photograph. Wouldn't that be inflammatory and unfairly prejudicial? Irrelevant, sure, you know. Excluding experts, Mr. Kohberger seeks to exclude expert testimony that is vague, undisclosed, and improper. Well, I doubt the prosecution is going to come in with somebody with undisclosed information and is vague or improper. So good. See, these are all, look at, does anybody look like somebody typed that in? These are like a form for defense attorneys, blah, yada, 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 yada. I bet Kohberger's name isn't even mentioned in here, because it's right there. Okay, so they probably have, in the program, a find and replace, you know, like whenever it said defendant, or, you know, like it had a placeholder that you could replace, you put that in there. Right, down here is kind of interesting. Amazon click activity, excluding Amazon evidence, purchase history, and Amazon click activity, was the subject of the defendant's motion in limine number 9 regarding excluding Amazon click activity evidence at trial. The state's methodology in obtaining, using, and producing Amazon evidence has been called into question by Mr. Kohberger, who contends that this evidence should be excluded. To the extent that the court allows the evidence, Mr. Kohberger must be able to present expert testimony of David Howell, that's Mr. Howell from Gilligan's Island's cousin, to provide a complete defense based on the court's ruling. It's actually Linda Moulton Howe's nephew. She's probably in here right now. Oh, jeez. Exclude IGG evidence. Oh, yeah, that's not happening. You know. All right, what are they trying to get here? There's no way the judge would rule on any of this stuff. See, this is all stuff that they put forward and they absolutely didn't allow it. Investigative genetic genealogy and defendant's motion in limine regarding exclude IGG evidence. The state methodology in obtaining, using, and producing IGG evidence has been litigated through discovery and motion to compel and finally through motion to suppress. Mr. Kohberger learned of undisclosed discovery during the suppression hearing and was refused access. As such, Mr. Kohberger contends that IGG evidence should be excluded because he could not fully understand and litigate the issues. Listen, if you don't understand the whole thing at this point, there's something wrong with you, okay? His defense team, it's such an easy thing. I can probably say it in about a minute. So they found DNA on the knife sheath. They deployed rapid genetic genealogy. They gave it to Othram Labs. They started working on it. It wasn't going quick enough. The FBI took over and picked up where Othram left off. They used sort of a backdoor method at, I think it was Family Tree DNA. You know, I think that was the site. I can't remember, but that's one of the public sites that you can upload your raw genetic information and find matches based on centimorgan count. So they were able to identify Bryan Kohberger. Then they sent, you know, they went out and collected the trash at Bryan Kohberger's parents' house, and they obtained the trash, and it turns out the trash item that they found and got the DNA from developed the biological father of the sample DNA from the knife sheath. And by the way, originally they checked the knife sheath in CODIS, the DNA from the knife sheath in CODIS, and didn't find any matches. So that's why they did IGG. And so it was a biological father, and that was enough to get a warrant to arrest Bryan Kohberger. Then when they arrested Kohberger, they took a swab of him, compared it to the DNA on the knife sheath, the sample, and it was a match in the octillions to 1, okay, like 6 octillion to 1. It wasn't even close. Kohberger absolutely is the contributor to the DNA on the sheath, right? Wasn't that a great, quick explanation right there? I don't know if it was family tree DNA or if it was, there's like 3 of them that do it. Family tree DNA is a little different than the other ones because it's actually, I think it's family tree DNA. It's a really big site, and they're one of the only few that allow you to upload raw data and compare it to their entire site. You just can't, law enforcement doesn't necessarily have the right to use it. They don't have the right to use it. But it's not illegal. It's just against their terms of service. And, maybe they felt like it was worth it. Yeah. All right, you guys, we're having a massive lull again. We probably could use another 15 channel memberships or so, or something like that. And then I can try to donate 5. But if we can get another 20, that would be almost perfect number. Simplifying it all I'm doing because only so character allowed. I stand by my opinion, but I agree with you on the inability to mimic at WSU. To mimic? Let's see. Yeah, lulls do blow, Jeffrey. They make it difficult. Anyways, the IGG didn't work. Let's see. Vehicle identification. Exclusion of the state referring to all surveillance footage they intend to offer as suspect vehicle 1 was the subject of the defendant's motion in limine regarding make and model of suspect vehicle. Mr. Kohberger sought to exclude this evidence. I mean, it's so stupid. Pursuant to specific rules. See, this is all just sort of like going through the motions of trying to exclude things. His motion was not directed at the testimony of the state's expert, but rather to exclude the state from arguing and other witnesses from saying that all depictions of vehicles were the same vehicle. Based on court question, I mean, my God, it's unreasonable not to allow that. You can actually track the vehicle as it was moving. It's insane that they wanted to do that. It's crazy. Mr. Kohberger must be able to explore with S.A. Immel the year range he was most comfortable with based on the 1125 Ridge Road footage, which video allowed identification of makes and models, and which videos caused him to focus on 2014 to 2016. Well, I think that was the 1125 Ridge Road, but also you can see clearly it's missing a front license plate at the A&W camera, as we showed recently. Let's see. The actual evidence provides a less clear trail, and Mr. Kohberger, in exercising the confrontation rights, must be allowed to explore S.A. Immel's opinion. Autism spectrum disorder. Mr. Kohberger's autism spectrum disorder, along with related issues, was the subject of 3 pending motions. Defendant's motion in limine, conditions aggravator, state's motion in limine. So they're trying to get that autism spectrum disorder in there. Statistical analysis, and related testimony were the subject of the defendant's motion in limine. Recording and transcript. Let's see. Allowing such testimony would violate his federal. Let's see. Analysis and related testimony were the subject of the defendant's motion in limine. Statistical analysis. Mr. Kohberger sought an order preventing the state from improperly eliciting statistical testimony. Allowing such testimony would violate his federal and state constitutional right to due process, fair trial, effective assistance of counsel, and confrontation of witnesses. The state has agreed that they will not elicit testimony attempting to relate the likelihood ratio for the DNA on the sheath to the world population. Now, you can't not have that, because let me show you how it works, you guys. Watch how this works. I'm gonna do. Well, let's just get I'll just get the calculator out here. This is how it would work. So you guys can see this, right? So let's say there's 20 markers on in CODIS, right? So after they compared Kohberger's DNA to the knife sheath, they actually loaded it into CODIS 2, and it matched all 20 markers, right? So the way it worked, let's say marker number 1. I don't know. Let me try it. Maybe I can open up a. I'm just going to do like a blank Excel spreadsheet. So let's say let's just randomly, ding, like this. I don't know. I'm just kind of randomly typing in, but these are the markers, let's say. I mean, some of them are identical. I'm just quickly typing something in. Well, hell, why don't I just do it differently instead of making it confusing? Let's go like this, grab these two, slide this over. Probably, almost got it right. So these are 20 markers right here. You see those? And let's say marker number 1 and the population, they've studied these things. Only, so it's like 1 in 10 people have these. So 1 in 10 have that one. And let's say marker number 2, it's 50% of the people have that one. So it'd be like 2. And then marker number 3, it's 1 in 1,000 people have that one. The marker number 4 is, 1 in 55 or something. And then this one right here is 1 in 700. Then this one over here is 1 in 17. And this one here is 1 in 6. And this one right here is 1 in 19. And this marker here is not 1 in 2. And this one right here is 1 in 7. This one right here is 1 in 15. This one right here is 1 in 27, let's say. This one is 1 in 9. We'll just kind of come up with some random numbers here for the rest of these. 35, 16, 15, 14, 2, 6, 5, right? So after looking at each one of their marks, they know what the population, is for each, the general, odds of each of those markers, right? So then what you have to do is go like this. Equals this number times, let's see, where am I at? Times that one times this one times that one times this one times that one times this 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 one, that 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 one, and that one. And we found, I think it's too big. It's too big. Let me see if I can, if I go like this, equals this times that times that. Does that work? Yeah, so that's now it's 1 in 20,000, right? So then you go like this part, we'll just keep moving down, equals this here times, let's see, that one, times this one, times that one, times this one, times that one.
Marker number 9 for Paul's
All right.
outage.
So now look where we're at already. 1.49 to the 12th, it's like with 12 zeros at the end. So you're already at a ridiculous number. And so the odds of having all 20 of these are exactly what they say, okay? Because this is it's insane. Think about it. Only 1 in 10 had that one. And then 50% of the people had that one. And then 1 in 1,000 had that one. and 1 in 55 at that one. But you're getting all of these all the way down the line, and I'm being sort of generous on these numbers, like they're low. And you got a number that's just astronomical. Does that make sense? Thanks, Jeffrey Siddall. Man, a massive lull there. That's like a 30-minute one there. Marker number 9 for Paul's Boutique. Yeah. Right. So when people sit there and go, it's, just we can't allow that statistical. Yeah, well, no, it's real. It's real. It's a real thing. Of course, how much, 1 in 17, maybe it's really 1 in 18. I mean, how do we really know if the entire population, or maybe it's 1 in 12? But that's how they do the calculation, Recording and transcript. The recordings and transcript. Call to Whitcomb. All right, let's see if we can get 15 more channel memberships, you guys, and then I'll donate 5. Can we try to do that with this entire group of people here? It's fun. I like, it's cool when people get channel members. Why are you here, YouTube handle, again? I mean, you come in every show. You're disruptive. I don't know what you're doing tonight, but, it's like, just stick with the other case, if you don't mind. Is that a question? Yeah, I mean, I just, that's how it works. I know that's how it works on how they do this. I've talked to Dr. Colleen Fitzpatrick about it. That's exactly how it works. 1 through 20. You know what I'm saying? Man, how do we get to this point tonight where we just went like this? It's crazy. Hey, there's Amber Maiden. Thank you. Oh, look at that. Dixie Hippie. There's 6 of the 15. So we need 9 more. You guys can do it. Good evening, Marianne Nolan. Okay, let's do the alibi one down here. Wait, recording and transcript. The recording and transcript of the 911 call to Whitcomb on November 13th was the subject, relying on exceptions to the hearsay rule, an effect on listener. The state seeks the admission of both the transcript and the recordings based on his constitutional rights. Mr. Kohberger objects to the admission of the transcript and the recording. Yeah, see, that's not going to happen. Oh, whoa. Thanks, Lisa Belson. And thank you also up there to Dixie Hippie and Bronco Girl Amber. Let me, where is it? Oh, it's over here. Well, just remind me at the end. I don't want to disrupt what we're doing. So, alibi evidence is the subject of various notices, discovery responses, and motions. On July 24, 2023, Mr. Kohberger filed his notice of alibi, pursuant to court order. Mr. Kohberger filed a notice of defendant's supplemental response to state's alibi demand on April 17, 2024. Previously, Mr. Kohberger's alibi has been the subject of a motion to compel. More recently, the state filed a motion in limine regarding alibi. Mr. Kohberger has met his statutory obligation of provide the state notice of, I'm not sure, obligation of provide the state notice of corroboration of his partial alibi. Jeez. Mr. Kohberger stated on the record his concern that the state commenting on his constitutional rights to remain silent. He will make an appropriate motion should these comments be made in front of his jury. See, what they want to do is find what is the state's argument and then tailor the alibi to it. That's exactly what it is. Hey, thanks, Dixie Hippie. Let's get a lolling wave. I know. I'm not sure I like the word lull, but you know, it's kind of, I don't mind it. It just sort of is what it is. Oh, okay. Demonstrative exhibits. Yeah, so the three-dimensional model of the 1122 King Road residence. Hey, thanks for the 45 months, Ozzy Trisha. 1122 King Road residence, that's that 3D model, was the subject of the state's motion in limine regarding demonstrative exhibits. I think after this came out, the judge ruled on these things here. Because this was back in, it's kind of old. Specifically, Mr. Kohberger objects to the use of the three-dimensional model constructed in an undisclosed way on the grounds that it's irrelevant. No, you cannot do that. I mean, a demonstrative aid is exactly what that means, a demonstrative aid. You know, I got to tell you, though, like in the Jody Arias case, for example, the floor drawing that they used was whack. I mean, it was, like I looked at it, had measurements and stuff on it, but it wasn't right. It wasn't correct. It had nothing, no relevance on anything other than, okay, you know, it was just like, but dimensions weren't correct. Things were, and it didn't mean anything because it was just like to use to show, okay, I was over in this area, and then I made it over here, and then there's photographs that show the actual look of it. It's just for demonstration purposes. They were just trying to get rid of everything. Right, they were just trying anything that worked. Gray, this is the voodoo defense. Reigning memberships. Yeah, I mean, the freaks are always so generous donating memberships on this channel. I hope people stay that get the free ones. But who knows? You know, we get trolls sometimes that make themselves available. And they act like they're high and mighty people. And they have so high moral standards. And they go in and steal memberships from people that can't afford them. How sick is that, huh? Let's see. How come I can't see the comments? Oh, wait, maybe I don't have it on... I need it on live chat. Hey, thank you. Ozzy Trisha, the legend from down under. Or another legend. We got Zozo, who's here sometimes.
Ocean wave emoji, red heart emoji.
Thank you. Alright, so down here it's talking about death penalty, self-authenticating records, family in the courtroom. I think we've seen all the judgments on these. Alright, let's see. Witnesses. Mr. Kohberger has disclosed exceedingly comprehensive expert reports and opinions. This is for the guilt phase. So he has all these different people. What happened to that one? Oh, there he is, Cy Ray. There he is. He's there. Man, he lucked out. That guy, man. Yeah. Anyways, you know, they threw everything in the kitchen sink to try to get thrown out before trial, but we've seen all the rulings on these things. All right, so let's go over to the state's exhibit list. And this thing's huge. You know, it's like just massively long. You know, I could try to zoom in or whatever, but it's just, you know, they've got thousands of exhibits in here. Let's see. So these are just all the things they've got. Front exterior of residence, rear exterior. These are photographs. I don't know if we need to go through all these. First floor bedroom. We've seen a lot of these. And they've got photographs of vehicles parked. So down here is pretty interesting. Like the next page, I think right here. Madison Mogan's sealed body bag. I mean, that's pretty descriptive. Autopsy photo, Madison Mogan body bag tag. Kaylee Gonzalez sealed body bag. Kaylee Gonzalez body bag tag. Ethan Chapin sealed body bag. Ethan Chapin body bag tag. Xana Kernodle sealed body bag. Xana Kernodle body bag tag. Madison Mogan. These are photographs of Madison Mogan. Kaylee Gonzalez. Ethan Chapin. Xana Kernodle. Mogan's top front. Mogan's top back. I think these are shirts. Mogan pants front. Mogan's pant back. Gonzalez wearing sock, just one. Kaylee Gonzalez sock. Kaylee Gonzalez sock. Kaylee Gonzalez pants. I wonder if they ever found the other sock. Kaylee Gonzalez's pants. Two photographs of that. Her shirt multiple times. That probably means that those are like various stab wounds and they're getting different shots of the same shirt, right? Like Kaylee Gonzalez's shirt, like that. And then underwear front, underwear back, Xana Kernodle's shirt front, Xana Kernodle's shirt back, Chapin sock, Chapin sock, and another sock and a sock. So he has 4 sock photos. And then they have those photographs from King Road drone, west side of the parking lot, drone residence area, drone residence with upper parking lot, residence area with 500 Queen Road, drone area with Walenta Drive. I mean, I've driven all those drives. I drove on Walenta Drive. I mean, I know that area like the back of my hand. It's kind of similar, to be honest with you. When I went to Orem, Utah, when I got there, we'd already gone over all the different things 1,000 times. And by the time I got there, it was really easy. You know, really easy to make my way around, etc. I got to make this sound again so Kay Miller laughs, okay? All right, is that... I like when she responds with like a bunch of laughing. Let's see. I don't like socks, so I wouldn't know. It's okay. Not everyone knows my back. Oh. All right, let's see. 1122 King Road, exterior north side. Go to the next one. King Road, exterior west side, porch and deck. King Road, exterior backyard. King Road view of 1122 King Road from upper lot. I mean, these are just sort of like standard things. I don't think it tells us anything. Let me just kind of, like I think we've seen some of these even. Jack in the Box, fries on the microwave. So I think a lot of these photos are the ones we've seen. You know? Good night, Sandy Shirley. Let's see. So talking about shoe print, West Yard. West Yard. Let's see. Let me open this up. The West Yard would be sort of on the left side of the house. I guess that would be, I mean, in the patio area is sort of on the west back, but I would call it southwest. Yeah, so this is the, it's not there. When me and Amber went there, it looked like this. That was in July of... That's, I mean, what's weird is like this image here, when were we there? Wasn't it like July, you know what date that was? Because this image here is actually July 5th, 2025. So I was there within a week or two of this shot right here. Wouldn't that be weird if you were there right when that satellite image was taken? And like my car's parked there. Yeah, it was July, but do you know what date it was? Yeah, so it looked like that. So the west side would be over here. But that's also, you know, where, if it was right there, would you call that west or southwest? I don't know. I don't think they missed anything. This is at one of the most... See, that's the thing, you guys. Like, this case is so obvious. It's the same. It's not as strong, actually, as... It's about as strong as you can possibly get, but the, you know, Tyler Robinson case is way stronger. It was July 2nd he pled. Are you sure about that? Ah, I guess so. Huh. Wow, that's crazy. So that photograph was 3 days after we were there. Yeah, interesting. I thought that was later in the month. Okay, so this is that's his apartment complex, taking photographs of it. Wilson short office door, that's in his office. So we've seen a lot of these photographs. Lambsden. What's 119 Lambsden? Is that his office space? Or that's his house, right? Maybe we could look at these. Yeah, that's his house address, isn't it? Yeah, that's his address. All right, well, there you go. So these are all exterior front, garage corner, garage with open door, rear of Elantra with bucket, front steps and front door, room A foyer, room B living room B documents, room C dining room D kitchen, first floor hallway, room E bathroom 1, room F bedroom 1, room F bedroom 1 exterior, room G bedroom 2 primary, room G bedroom 2 exterior, room H hallway closet, room bedroom 3, room bedroom 3 exterior, room J bathroom 2, top of foyer stairs, lower foyer, I keep saying foyer, foyer stairs, Lambsden, and that's lower foyer stair, room L basement hallway, basement family room, room K from hallway, room K northeast corner, room K northeast corner, room K east wall, room K south wall, room K southwest corner bed and closet, room K north wall, room L family room from west, room L family room east wall, room M basement bathroom 3, room N laundry, room O basement closet under stairs, room P garage north bay east wall with hallway door, room P garage north bay bucket close-up, room P garage north bay south wall Wallet from Room C Dining Room. Wallet contents. Book from Room C Dining Room. It's probably his wallet. That's where he was separating the trash. Room D, AT&T bill on the kitchen bar. Room TC, dining room paper work in hutch. Acer laptop, closet Samsung drive, closet motherboard, power supply, living room paper, basement bathroom, cell phone, both of those. Room K, backpack, Room K, books inside backpack, face mask. Is that a balaclava? Prescription, black hat and mask, driver's license and car title, bedroom 3 criminal psychology book, criminology books, Seagate 1 terabyte, Samsung drive, clear plastic glove on floor near door, WSU paperwork, marker 45, and then basement black, backpack, maroon colored notebook, room L basement backpack and contents. Let's see, side of garage, door closed, Elantra left near the corner, Elantra driver's door from rear, Elantra driver's door from front, Elantra driver's side front, Elantra front, Elantra passenger side, passenger front door, passenger rear door, passenger side near corner, VIN through the windshield, garage basement door, basement hallway from garage, basement hallway to family room, basement hallway into room K from door, room K interior, room K bed. Elantra key on bed, massive lull going on, white Elantra driver's side front, white Elantra passenger side front. What was that sound, by the way? White Elantra exterior front driver's side. You like how I snuck that in there? That was pretty good, I think. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty good. You like that? I was reading through the list. I was just... It was kind of supposed to be like a subliminal message of some sort. Yeah. Did it work? Alright, so anyways. I'm not sure what's PSP. White Elantra driver's side door. So let's go down here, this part here. Yeah, so this is the autopsy photographs that are going to be in there. Ethan Chapin, upper body as received by medical examiner. Ethan Chapin, lower body as received by medical examiner. Chapin's upper body cleaned. Chapin chest, throat injury. So he probably was like right under the collarbone there. Ethan Chapin, scalp wound on right side. I'm not sure we heard about that. We never heard about the scalp wound. Chapin's scalp wound on left center side. Ethan Chapin's wound near ear. So some of this stuff we didn't know about. Left ear. So he went after him too. Chapin's wound on back of left thigh. Chapin's side view of wounds to back of left thigh. Chapin's close-up wounds to the left thigh. Chapin's close... So this is sort of like an autopsy description here, just based on this. Ethan Chapin's close-up wounds to the left thigh. Chapin's close-up wounds on inside of thigh. Ethan Chapin's side view of wounds to right leg. Ethan Chapin close-up PF wounds to right leg. Chapin wounds to top of right hand fingers. I guess that subliminal message didn't work. Ethan Chapin's right hand palm up. Ethan Chapin's wounds to inside of left wrist. So did he have defensive wounds then? I mean, this is like totally new stuff there. I don't think we knew anything about that. We knew that he had a wound to his neck and the back of both of his legs, but now we have wounds on his head, his ear area, his, his hand, and left hand and left wrist. That's crazy, right? That's all new. We didn't have any of that before. All right, so I'm going to donate 5 memberships, you guys, but let's see if you guys can do another 5 yourself. Here we go. I almost sent myself a super chat just to break the lull. You know what sucks is when it's like, let's say it's my birthday, right? And I'm being taken out to dinner by my wife and kid. Who's paying the bill? I mean, it's not gonna. I mean, now I understand what my parents would always say. It's not like they're doing it, right? Yeah. Yeah, of course, right? I mean, and yeah, of course they pick. It was pretty good though. It was worth going to Benihana's. That place is a gold mine. Like whoever owns Benihana's, geez, it's expensive. Packed in there the whole time. They get the little chef guys. They make a ton of money in tips. Yeah, I always thought it was his hamstring. So that's his thigh. Yeah, we know what those footsteps are leading from the kitchen, but it's not really the west side, it's the southwest side. It's right there, as I just showed you. That was the question we asked Friskoon, not that we didn't know where the footprints were. Yeah. Let's see. It's more southwest. Yeah, so we're having one of those massive lull segments again, where it's just like, okay, now I could be making a video or doing something. You get taken out for dinner on your... Well, I didn't get taken out. I drove, and they got taken out to dinner. They did sing happy birthday and give me some ice cream. Yeah, let's see. So we're going on, let's go to Xander Kernodal. Kernodal upper body as received by medical examiner. Xander Kernodal's waist, pelvic area as received by medical examiner. Autopsy, Xander Kernodal, or we'll just go. Xander Kernodal lower body area as received, Xander Kernodal's torso and partial legs, unclothed and clean. Xander Kernodal upper body unclothed and clean. Xander Kernodal lower body legs unclothed and clean. Xander Kernodal wounds to right side arm up. Xander Kernodal wounds to face and front neck area. Xander Kernodal wounds to right side of face and neck. Xander Kernodal wounds to scalp, face, neck, and shoulder, upper back viewed from right side. Xander Kernodal wounds to the right side, top of head. Xander Kernodal wounds to center, top of head. Man, that's crazy. Hey, thanks. Yeah, my birthday was the 16th, but I got taken out today. Xander Kernodal wounds to the left side of face. Xander Kernodal wounds and fracture to skull. Thanks, Marilise. Man, at least you broke a massive lull that we've had. Xander Kernodal wounds to right side from head. Wow, wait, hold on. Xander Kernodal wounds to the right side from all the way down from her head to her abdomen, not one continuous it says wounds. Xenocronal wounds to right leg, viewed from the right. Wounds to the right calf. Wound to back and upper arm. Wound to front of upper arm. Wound to elbow area. Wounds to the forearm. Wounds to the top of the right hand. Wound to blade area of right hand. What does that mean, blade area? Wound to thumb side of... Was that a thing? The blade area of the hand is the outer edge, also known as the ulnar side. The area runs from the base of the little finger down to the wrist. So like right down here, I guess. So that is the... What did that say? The blade area of the right hand. Oh, like a blade, like you're chopping. Let's see. Wound. Then it says wound to thumb side of right hand and wrist. The top of the right thumb. Palm of the right hand. Man, he was just going ferociously stabbing at her, and she was trying to block them all and just kept getting cut and cut and cut. And then eventually she just didn't have any more to give, I guess. What is that sound? What the hell is that? Alright, you guys. I'll try one more last time on here. Hey, you guys. So on the show, you guys are the support of the channel. If you guys have the ability to support the channel, I do live streams. You're it. There's no ad revenue or anything like that that comes in. So if you have the ability to help support the channel, we're had a decent night going here, but it'd be nice to have a really good night. Those are the ones that make up for example, the night that I came home on that trip. I had no way to do a show. That was the worst night in like 3 months. So trying to make up for that one a little bit. So if you guys have the ability to, that would be awesome. Yeah, Xana, that's just crazy, man. She had wounds to her knee, left side of torso and head and left arm, top of the left hand and wrist, top of left hand and fingers, connotal wounds. He may have had like special anger for her because she may have came upstairs and disrupted what he wanted to do, just like he was angry at maybe Kaylee or something. Xenocronal wounds to palm and inside of left wrist. Madison Mogan's upper body and head as received by medical examiner. Madison Mogan's lower torso. Okay, now we're on to Madison Mogan. So upper body and head as received by the medical examiner. Lower torso, hip, and lower torso. And I'm not sure what left's meat is, but... And these are all, okay, that was as they were received. And then Madison Morgan's torso and head areas cleaned. And then autopsy, Madison Morgan wounds to face and neck from above. Wounds to the face, neck from the right side. Wounds to right eye area. Jeez. Wounds to the left side of the face, partial shoulder and neck. From the left, wound above left ear, wounds to neck and chest, viewed from above, wounds to left breast. I mean, this is so much more than we were told, you guys. This is way more. We weren't told any of this stuff. Above, wound above left ear, wound to neck and chest, viewed from above, wound to left breast and chest, wound near sternum, held closed to show weapon imprint, Mogan wounds to breastplate, Mogan close up of wounds to left shoulder, Mogan wound to elbow, Mogan top of right hand, palm down, I mean, it almost seems like she was awake, too. I mean, it feels like they're all sort of have defensive wounds, every single one of them. I mean, I don't know, it just feels that way. Mogan's top of right hand, palm down. Mogan palm of right hand. Mogan wound to top of left hand. Mogan injuries to top of left wrist. Wounds to inside of left hand and forearm. Hey, thanks, Nate Campbell. And forearm palm up. And now we're to Kaylee here. Torso and head as received by medical examiner. Lower torso and hip area as received by medical examiner. Lower torso and legs as received by medical examiner. Then this is upper torso and head area cleaned. Injuries to face viewed from above. Injuries to right side of face from the right. Injuries to the upper face and forehead viewed from above. Injuries to left side of face, partial and left shoulder area. Wounds to upper left side of scalp. It sounds like he just went after Kaylee's head the whole time. Upper left side of the scalp, forehead. Wounds to the upper right side of scalp and forehead. And then wounds to back of scalp. And then wound to the back of scalp, head close up. And then wound fractures to skull. So he was just, man. Fractures to skull from inside cranium. That means they peeled back her, they actually cut open her cranium there to see that. Gonzalez injuries to teeth. Gonzalez injuries to inside lower lip area. Gonzalez injuries to inside of mouth, close up. Lower lid of right eye. Wounds to the neck, left shoulder and chest viewed from above. Gonzalez close-up of wounds to left shoulder and upper chest. Gonzalez wound to back of left upper arm. Gonzalez wound to left elbow. Gonzalez top of right hand. Gonzalez palm of right hand. Wounds to the top of the left hand. And then the palm of the left hand. I mean, it's just, man, that's crazy. It sounds like he spent a lot of the time on her face, So how do you feel out there, you little nut job, pro burger dipshits, I mean, you guys are disgusting people. We don't think he did it great. Well, who was it then? Let me guess, Brent Kohberger. Look at these sick people out there, still pining over, I'm going to send Kohberger a letter. He's so cute. I bet he'd like me. If I could free him, I could be his lover. Kohberger is so cool. You guys are sick, okay? Then I got we've already got the 911 call. We got the Nunez body cam. We got all these things in here. And now I'm ordering these right here. Corner Club. So we got the Corner Club. Did I order those? God, see, I think I missed doing that. I thought I did. Let me look. I don't know where I just did this one. Is it this one? I don't even know where I just did a let me see. I think I can do it if I do like a new text file. Open that up. And where is it? File. Is there a recent one? Yeah, recent. There we go. Oh, good. I did order those. Okay, so I've ordered all this stuff here. This is what I just ordered. I don't know if you can see that or not, but It's a lot of shit right there. So these are all ones I don't have at this point. So this is going to be the Corner Club when they were there. Different time frames, different cameras, and so forth. Then they're leaving the Corner Club probably right around 1:34-ish, 35. And then they walk by the Cafe Artista, which I think is similar to the one that we saw, like the Adam video. The bagel shop is right across the street from the grub truck. And they have that one. Yeah, that's sort of interesting. Okay, so yeah, 141 to 152. That's why they're at when they're at the grub truck. That shows them get into the Uber drive. Yeah, if we get it, yeah. Man, have you guys noticed the massive lull? Grub truck business record affidavit. Grub truck video, we've seen that one. What King Road pre-search video. Not sure what those are. Latah County Sheriff's Office. Darren Duke. Okay, these ones here I'm trying to get to. Floyd's Cannabis Shop. And that has specific times, 3:02, and then 3:02:12, and then we have these 7:87. Huh? What happened to Deborah's comments? She got removed or something. I don't know what happened. Yeah, so you got the right Sunset Mart. That's the A and W area. Then 11. This seemed to be in order. 1125 Ridge Road. Subsequently goes to 1320 Linda Lane, and then 1112 King Road, and then 1330 Linda Lane. So they do have all these. This is all in there. 1330 Linda Lane. And then, it's cool because this is all in order. 451 Paradise Drive. And then, so I don't know what the E and S video at 1113 from 526. So that must be back in, that might be actually that video that I have. The one where you see it drive by down the street. It just doesn't have the address on it. 526 to 527. And then the Sunset Mart. So I have all of these. E&S video, Sunset Mart, Sunset Martin Pullman, WSU Public Record Affidavit, and WSU Video. See, they have all these. But whenever you try to get these, they don't really seem to anybody know where they're at. These WSU camera videos, they're right there. And then it goes into the Costco, US. We have these, Albertsons. William Maynard video of trash pull from, wow. Jeez, wouldn't that be cool to have that? Look at that video. William Maynard video of trash pull from Kohberger's residence. Wow. That's actually exists. Amanda Kohberger interview. Oh, Jesus, look at that. That would be a cool one. I might have to let me mark these down here. That would be awesome. That's not what I want. Thanks, Lisa Valenzuela. All right, man, that's crazy. Jesus, if you, that interview here, it would be so interesting. Yeah, I mean, you have to admit, Amanda Kohberger interview audio. Man, that's crazy. Anybody else out there? You know, Lisa Valenzuela. Anybody else? I do appreciate everybody supporting the channel. I just try to push to bring in as much revenue as possible on the channel, so that we can make a bigger difference at the end of the month. I'm trying to beat last year total. Yeah, that would be an amazing one to have. Map, State of Idaho, Map Pullman. Lewiston and Clarkston. Yeah, we already seen these. We've seen a lot of these already. Yeah, like all of these pretty much. Corner Club receipts for Madison Mogan. That would be interesting. Grub truck. Autopsy report. So they do exist, obviously. They're right there. I don't know if they're going to make those. I don't know why they wouldn't make those public. I think that's sort of a standard thing to make public. Autopsy reports, you know. All they have is drawings and stuff, and they're pretty. I think that'd be useful for people to understand. I think we've already learned today that he was, you know, way more vicious than previously. I mean, I don't know how he could be more vicious than we already thought, but he seemed to. There's a lot more wounds on people than we were aware of. Don't we agree with that? I don't know, Gray. I always thought there was more. I don't know how you didn't think that. Well, because we were never told that on anything. Don't you love it when I argue with this sort of fake person that's in the background? Because you know people sound like that. Yeah. Let's see. DoorDash business record. See, I want these things. DoorDash record of delivery. I want that piece. This thing right here. I ordered that one. That's an important little element of like a time frame element that we don't seem to. You know, we do see her driving over there, but I want the whatever it was that was on that time. I want the actual image of that GPS coordinates because it actually put it at the back door. Yeah, so I think a lot of this stuff, where you know, people are going to be trying to get this stuff. And by the way, I got some, you know, that one case we were doing the other day with the guy that killed the two people. They were just camping and he killed him. He was like a psycho, and there was video. His name is Thomas Brown one. I did order FOIA requests and I got those, but they don't say anything. They're just the shittiest. You know, like, let me see. Here's one. Nothing. Someone was injured. Check. I mean, just absolute garbage. But hey, at least I'm, you know what? I'm feeling good that I'm able to do this a little bit better now. To go out and get the FOIA requests, etc. It's pretty cool. If they release the wounds in writing like that, I think they will release. Yeah, it seems like they will release the autopsies. I don't know why you wouldn't, you know. It's not. Those are things that are generally made public, and they're not minors. And there's no pictures of people. It just describes what happened. That's it. Yeah, that was kind of a weird thing when he killed them. I think that guy's a serial killer, you know? That's exactly who that person was. You know, it's never really changed. Adri Deed, or whatever the hell your name is. You're a nut job. Which you'll be never showing up here again. Thank you so much. All right, there you go. The document you have requested shows someone was injured. What are you talking about? Yeah, it just doesn't show anything. Yeah, it's boring. There's also this one here from the Maricopa County. Look at this. Ooh, 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 ooh. And it's like first degree. It just shows the charges. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It's like there's nothing in them. And I saw that they'd made everything, what do you call it, like sealed. You know, like that one in Oregon is one of the ones I think you guys will probably all be more shocked about. You remember the one in Oregon? The guy that killed the nurse in his apartment? Like he lived across from her and she was going to work and he abducted her, killed her, and like dismembered her and did weird shit. And I think that guy, they sealed all that crap up and nobody even, you know, this guy is a nut job. I mean, he was only like 20-something years old, too. It's insane. Yeah, so we're definitely going to, I keep looking into that one to see if there's any more hearings or anything. No, he wasn't on meth. No, it had nothing to do with it. No, he wasn't on meth. Yeah, he's like a serial killer. They started looking into whether or not he was involved in some other cases. Hey, thanks, Tiff. Very kind, very kind. Who are you talking to? Goth conservative? Nobody even knows who you're... You know? I don't see anybody with that name. Anybody see anybody they're referring to? Hey, thanks. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Is it really a happy birthday when you turn 60? I know, you guys. I don't look a day over 59, but, you know, thank you. He did look like a normal guy. I might try to go to that one. I don't see anybody with that name. I don't have anybody. Let me see. No. There's nobody in here with that name. So we might have to block that person because that means they have me blocked. Unfortunately. Let's see. I'll try it again. Yeah, they don't exist for me. Oh, right there. Well, how come they don't show up above where you're saying, good hypothesis? They don't exist up there. Pig Grayson. That's the name of Lauren's producer. You know, look, a day over 59 and 364 days. There you go. You don't look a day over, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna. What's the comment that Goth Conservative said? Good theory or something. Where is it? Can somebody put it in there? Because it does not exist for me anywhere in here. Yeah, I saw their last comment, but other than that, they don't show up in here. So. No, that's not why, Friskoon. I can tell you haven't followed the case. That's not what he was doing. I don't even know. What are you guys talking about? That's what the theory was? No, that's terrible. I think he realized, I think what it is their attractiveness is what he knew he could never get. So his focus was on making them as unattractive as possible by stabbing them in the face. That's exactly what I think. And he wanted them to look that way when they were found, and he killed them doing some other thing. Well, what's the theory on that, Laura? That doesn't make any sense, Laura Atkins. Okay. That doesn't make any sense because the person said, hey, good theory, and could not find it. And I have the chat. I'm the owner of the channel, and I can't see somebody's comments. That gets a little weird, got to be honest. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's exactly what they were doing. That's why every one of them he got in the face. Every one of them. Because he wanted to make them look ugly. You know what I mean? Doesn't that make more sense? Stabbing somebody in the face doesn't keep somebody quiet. You have to stab them in the throat or something if that's what you were doing. Yeah, I don't have time, Paulette, to watch 9 hours of a show. I've seen it. I don't have time. I know the general gist. It's just the same shit that I've had happen on my channel for a long time. And that's the same thing, These people are psychos out there. I don't have time. I already reached out to Lauren. She didn't respond. So I don't know. I just don't really, it's been worse for me than it was for her. I can tell you that. Okay, it's been 1,000 times worse for me on my channel. I don't want to look at it. You sent me these other things. I looked at mod chat. My comment's the last comment. There's nothing in there. What am I supposed to be looking at? My comment is in mod chat. The last comment in mod chat is from me 2 days ago. So, which one are you talking about? I don't know. I'm confused. What did they conclude, Laura? When you say that's what they concluded, what was it? Yeah, I think these people on the internet are stalkers, It's one thing if they don't like somebody, but when you actually go out and you try to just hurt their life and go into real life and stuff like that, that makes them stalkers, And, it's really weird when somebody's actually a child, neuropsychologist, and they're out there stalking people. I mean, that's strange. Yeah. Well, hey, that doesn't answer the question, Laura. That doesn't answer the question. You said, I listened to the podcast yesterday. They were discussing BK. That's what they concluded. What? What did they conclude? The same thing that I said about stabbing the face so that they weren't attractive anymore? Is that it? No, he didn't do it to stop her screaming, Friskoon. You're wrong. You're incorrect. Sorry. Let's see. You said what earlier? Well, okay, if you're not going to type it in again, Laura, we're going to have to time you out, man, because I don't have time to go up and find your comment. I've asked you 3 times now. Now you're playing your little giggly, stupid game where you could have easily just typed it in. The last 6 minutes, 10 minutes now, you could have just typed in a simple sentence, but you don't want to do it. I don't know what your issue is. It's really strange, you know. He did that to stop. Okay. You didn't just retype it. You didn't just retype it. What is the thing that they determined? What motive? What was his motive? Is this for real in here? It's like a 3rd grade class where you can't get somebody to. It's wild, unbelievable. You guys, you see what I'm saying, right, Nader? I've asked 4 times now what it was that the panel of 4 psychologists determined. Wouldn't that be awesome? It's crazy. It's like 2-year-olds. Never mind, Laura. Jesus, I'm done. Let's see. So we've got, let's see, Amazon records, Ada County Jail business record affidavit, DeSalle's crime scene scenario, Palouse Mall certificate of business records, Target records, Marshall business record affidavit. The photo of the woman he had on his phone, which Dateline aired, were very telling. I also feel he chose that particular date to act was because Kaylee returned. My opinion is that's what went wrong. He didn't know Kaylee was going to be showing back up there. I think he was there. My opinion is for Madison Mogan. He wanted to go up there, kill her, and leave quietly. But what happened was Kaylee was there. Things went awry. He got really angry at Kaylee for even being there and ruining his plan, so he killed both of them. And then the noise of that attracted Xana Kernodle, and then he chased her down the stairs that led to her room, and then he kills Ethan Chapin too. So it's just kind of like this cascading event. And I think the prosecutor thinks the same thing. Yeah, I just said that, Laura. Anyways. Because you're not really answering the question, Laura. I asked you what those psychologists said. What did they believe his motive was for killing them? Yeah, exactly, like a chain reaction. Doesn't that make the most sense, really? He's watching, he's looking at Madison Mogan. That's the only window that you can see through freely by being parked there. Yes, we know that Kaylee saw, there's somebody up there at some point, and maybe he was watching both of them at some time, you know? No, he wouldn't know that she moved, it was there. Yeah, he might have known she moved out, right? But he wouldn't have known that she was coming back that day. Oh, you don't think he would have known that she'd moved out? Yeah. Yeah, maybe. We just don't know. Given the amount of time he was stalking there, he may have noticed that she wasn't in her room, so he fixated on Madison Mogan. I don't know how long Kaylee was gone for before she came back, but he was in the area on the 7th, I think. So was she already gone on that date? That's sort of interesting, right? Oh, I see. You wanted me to go to... I'll say, Paula, you wanted me to go to Discord so you could share the screenshot, but then I went to your other our private conversation, and then I thought you were saying that. That's funny. Yeah, that's crazy. Let's see. What is not confirmed that he followed them all on his... Well, none of that stuff. We were told that they found no digital connection between them. So that's what the prosecutors said. Was it not confirmed that he followed them? Yeah. Well, we don't know that, though. He obviously, if he was still stalking the house for a while and she was gone, then he sort of focused in on Madison Mogan. That's the room. Yeah, I mean, the prosecutor says he may have gone to Kaylee's room first and wasn't there, so then went over to Madison's room, and then they were both in there. I just don't think it's that way. I think it's more likely, because I think Madison Mogan is sort of like the classic person that a incel would hate. Like she's like the all-American sort of classic, blonde hair, Barbie doll, kind of really pretty person, right? I mean, Kaylee's pretty too, but it's just sort of a different look. And that's why I think that she is, to me, I don't really care, anymore. It's like, what difference does it make? I think it still was a cascading effect leading to Xana and Ethan after that. Yeah, when you're right in that back portion, I mean, it's hard to explain to people, but you can't even if you're all the way to the far. Let me show you on the map. All right, where am I? Oh wow, I went all the way over to Pennsylvania. Man, let me just turn it all off. Yeah, so when you're back here, so even if you're back to the back portion of this parking spot, way over here, first of all, when you're way over there, the trees block everything. But I don't even know if it goes, I think it might go to there. But here's the thing is, Kaylee's room window door is over there. So you'd have to be like here just to get a glimpse if she just happened to walk over to the door, right? You get what I'm saying? Like there's an angle here and her bed's over there, so you'd have to really get like this crazy angle way over here just to kind of be able to see a partial portion of her room, like over there, you know. However, if you're right back here looking through that, you can see right into her room. You can see right through her window, through the door that goes out to the hallway, and her room's really small, and she's right there. So that's where the difference is. Yeah, I made the whole animations and all that stuff. I made, you know, like the entire timeline I have in an animation of this case. It's really simple. Hey, well, thanks for the happy birthday. I'm not sure what this crypto stuff is here. Maybe they're trying to see if he was trying to hide something. And there's just so many pages here. But look at all this stuff, you know. DNA, fingerprints, this and this and this. DNA report 6, item this. I mean, I don't know. These other, there might be other DNA that we were never aware of. You know, forensic DNA report 7 items, 3 through 4, 6, all these different things. This might be like blood and where it's located in the house to explain the movements inside the house, that kind of thing. Yeah, they got a lot of forensic stuff here. And there's the K-bar knife and sheath. That might be, they said sample, so maybe that's not really, or maybe that's the blood sample. King Road diagram, 3D stacked floors. Anyways, you guys, I think I'm going to call it a night. I'm kind of stressed out. I don't know why. Yeah. That's a lot of, I mean, it's pages and pages and it's thousands of different things. I just wanted to point out some of the maybe we can, I'll dig through it some more and see if I can find some other stuff. I don't know. It just gets stressful in here sometimes. You know, you say something, people get upset, and then just turns into a shitty conversation. And we just had a massive lull for like an hour and a half, so it's hard to keep going, you know. I gotta go, that makes it so I have to stop and then start working on a video for tomorrow to try to make up the difference. Yeah, anyways, I hope you guys thought that was interesting. So we got Missy 6, Cheryl Locke 2221. Then we had Bronco Girl do 5, or Amber Maiden do 5 memberships. Then Thomas Romans, new member. Then we got KMTX. Then Lisa Valenzuela gifted a membership and a super chat. Then Nader Bader gifted one. Then Whiskey Boots gifted one. Bruce Holdaway gifted one. Then Jessica Schubach. Bruce Holdaway. Wild Bill Wassman. Jeffrey Sedal gifted one. Michelle H1957 gifted one. Then we had DDWM 16 months. Thank you so much. Said I love this bunch of freaks. Then Christine YK8 gifted a membership. Then Christine, Bruce Holdaway, then Kay Miller with the miraculous double cat eye donation. Then we had Dixie Hippie. Then Lisa Belson gifted 10. Then Nader Bader gifted 1. Then Jeffrey Sedal did a super chat. Then Bronco Girl gifted 1. Then Dixie Hippie gifted 5. Then Lisa Belson did another 10. So thank you so much for that. So again, like 2 different people made up. See, that's where I get nervous, is like when 2 people make up such a big portion of the entire show. It makes it so it's like, oh man, it's just pure luck almost that you get to a level. And so I never heard back from, or maybe we can let's listen to the audio after this of the interview with Ashley Banfield. Okay, we're not going to watch the video, but we'll listen to the audio. Does that sound good? Then we got Dixie Hippie, then Ozzy Trisha, then Dixie Hippie, 5 months. Then we have I Gifted 5, then Meryl Lees and Nader Bader, Lisa Valenzuela, Michelle H, Tiff SD, and Grant. Happy birthday, Grayson. You don't look a day over 59 and 364 days. Well, that's good, because my birthday was actually the 16th. But, so at least I'm 3 days younger looking than you thought I did. Isn't that amazing? What was the final score in that game, Amber? I like watching Blazers too, like over and over again when they play. No, my name isn't Grayson. I've told this story 1,000 times, and some people don't believe it, but you can ask my mom. When I was born, my parents wrote down, my other brothers are Garrett and Grant, and I'm Gray, right? So it's Garrett, Gray, and Grant. But they put an initial, they put L. Gray Hughes. That's all it was going to be, an L that stood for nothing other than just like L. Ron Hubbard or something. You know, it's just L. Gray Hughes. And the doctor, who was a family friend, he wrote Lance in there for the L. But my name has always been Gray. Like nobody's ever called me, you know, other than the trolls who think we're secretly know what Gray's real name is. You know, they think they're so clever, even though I've said this story 17,000 times. And so my official name on my birth certificate has a Lance on there, right? And they didn't change it because he was like a family friend. Who cares? You know, we're still going to call him Gray. And it's crazy, right? I mean, but my name was always going to be Gray anyways. No, they were calling me Gray. You know, it's just L. Gray Hughes, you know. Like L. Ron Hubbard would be Ron. They don't say, hey, L, what's going on? You know, it's ridiculous. But anyways, I'm Gray, so it's Garrett, Gray, and Grant. And but it just causes problems from the lunatics. Yeah, it's just so crazy. It's a secret name. How come you don't get it? How come you don't get it? It's just, why don't we call somebody by their middle name? Jesus. L. Gray Hughes. It was just an initial. It doesn't mean anything. I don't know why you know. It was just kind of in, you know, to do back then, I guess. It didn't have a meaning to it. I don't know when you say you don't get it. I don't understand how you don't get it. It's kind of a simple, just sort of, I explained it. Your middle name's Kim. All right, Kim. How come I don't call you Kim? I don't get it. You know, why don't they call you Kim, for God's sakes? Yeah, he was nuts, L. Ron Hubbard. Jeez. He wrote that book, Dianetics, which is really, you know, kind of like the Scientology Bible. You know what I thought was funny? It was in Scientology. It's like you go all the way through all the different levels, right? And then I said Scientology, yeah. You go through all the levels, and then when you're done, you start over again. It's like those games that tilt. Oh, you never heard that? Yeah. Like you go through all the different levels, and then all of a sudden, you start over. You spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then it's like you play Donkey Kong, and you get to the 100th level, and it starts over again. Hey, thanks, Virgo Alex. Are you the other? Look at, they changed your name again. You're Alex, right? Thank you. I think I could tell if I could see. Yeah, I think you're the Alex. Yeah, see, they changed everything. Look at how wild that is. They're going back to the crazy naming conventions again. Well, some people, though. Some aren't that way. Like Zozo's back to her Zozo, like as if there's 8,988 before her. How many other Zozos are there? My God, are you kidding me? Like, you didn't put that in there, though, right? When you didn't put the 8989 in there. Yeah, I don't know what the L was. They never were going to call me L. My name was always going to be Gray, but I'm not sure what inspired them. I'm actually, you know what I'm wondering? Like, what year did Dianetics? Let's look that up. Hold on a second. I'm sort of wondering now. What year did the book Dianetics? I bet it's going to be right around the time I was born. No, it came out way before that. So 1950. That's awesome. Yeah, so I bet you that's exactly why. Because my dad was sort of a eccentric kook, you know. Just a little bit like me, you know. So, but he was just, he was nuts, right? I mean, you know some weird stories, you know. Like my dad, he was a great artist. You've seen it, right? He's like he's just a fantastic oil on canvas painter. He was selling. He died in 1992, and he had been selling paintings for like $90,000 and stuff. I mean, like massive oil on canvas, beautiful paintings. I've shown him on the show before. But he was a shitty dad. Like, he was the worst dad you could ever, just horrendous. But he was a great artist. And he just, he invented, you can look it up, it's called the Hughes easel with counterbalance weights and shit. Very smart person. But he didn't believe in banks, and he would hide money all around the house in like little cubby holes. I remember we went there. The guy that built the cubby holes was there before us, so there wasn't any cash sitting around. Except I went into the bathroom, and underneath the sink, there's like these open. I mean, I don't know. The doors underneath the sink, you know, whatever you call it, cabinets, kind of. But they had no doors on them. It was just open. And I reached underneath, like this, like underneath, and there's a ledge, and I grabbed. And there was $7,900 in $100 bills. And then I said, "Nothing in that room, guys." I'm just kidding. I bet you didn't, Gray. Really? I'm telling the truth right now then on a show, and they're gonna. Yeah, there was 7,900, just like in a big stack. It was crazy. I guess that would have been 79 $100 bills. Yeah. Yeah, he did all. He was nuts like that. But man, he was such one of the most talented artists. I bet you in like hundreds of years or something, his paintings will be like, you know, people will look at them and realize at a higher level. Is it in this one? Or this one? No. That one. No. This one. No. That one. You know, it's weird. I never can remember where to find his stuff. But, is it in there? Because I have like a quick thing I could bust through, but it's hard to find it. It's hard to just, is it right there? Yeah. It's weird. It's always hard to find it because it's like these old drives that I used to have, and I put them somewhere, and maybe it's this one, huh? How about that one? Nope, not there either. Oh well. I mean, you can look them up online if you get bored sometime. Go like this: Bill Hughes, Southwest artist, like that. And then right away, so these are like recent ones. So you see, he died in 1992. These are some of the paintings. You know, some of these older ones don't look anywhere near like his original ones, but let's see, like that. Those ones, that's pretty cool. That didn't sell for very much, but some of these they're not very big. Yeah, they're so small. Yeah, like there's one. It's kind of cool looking. Yeah. Let's see. Wow, that one's awesome. See, some of these I've never even seen. Like these ones, I've never seen these before. I mean, this is like brand new. I wish I could like save this out somewhere and look at it. Look at that. I mean, that's crazy. You know, the awesome clouds and right under there, the shadows and everything. It's pretty sweet. That's wild. Where did these come from? See, he has so many paintings out there that show up for auction that I've never seen. Like, I've never seen any of these ones that we're just looking at right now. Out of nowhere, just sort of... Wow, look at that. There's these Indians sitting around. This is probably really old. Like, I don't even know what year that was painted. That one was only 20 by 30 inches. It doesn't really say when it was painted. That's kind of cool. I didn't know these existed. Like, look at this crazy one. This is one I've never seen before either. Adobe homes. There's a guy walking right there. The clouds, sun probably, and over to the right back there behind the mountains. It's so weird. I mean, I haven't seen any of these. I mean, literally. The wise one. Let's see what that looks like. He's pretty good at humans. See, this ones are the earlier Bill Hughes, I can tell, because the detail that he has later, he called his painting style actualism, where it was like, try to make it look exactly... And some of these don't look like that. Let's see. Like that one's cool. This one's 40. I mean, these I love these. The long land. Oh, this one's one of my favorites right here, called Sunday Afternoon. Look at that one, 38,000. I would pay that much. This thing is the coolest damn painting I've ever seen. Look at this thing. Look at the lighting on this one. That is absolutely incredible. And this isn't even clear here. It looks so much better than this. Like the actual version of it, crystal clear. The water, like there's a newspaper in that thing right there. This thing is that's one. I think that's one of the best paintings I've ever seen. I think it's just like the lighting is insane. Look at the way the light hits the mountain over there to the left, and the little puddles over here. You know, like these aren't clear. It's not clear like it is. I've seen the painting in person. It's just nuts. Everything is detail. This is sort of blurry looking. Sunday afternoon. Yeah, and that one, the same feeling you guys have. That's why, look at that, 38,000. And that was last time it was sold. It was in 2018 even. The painting is 50 by 69 inches. That's what's so amazing about it. It's huge. It's like a big screen television looking that good. You know? So that's awesome. Now this one, yeah, Kiwi Magic. See, these are his later paintings, the ones we're looking at now, as he got better and better. That's Kiwi Magic there. Now this is the, you know what, you want to see this one right here? This one sold for 40,000, and that last time was, it's called Land of Condor, and I don't know, it looks like 2018 again. And guess what? This one is huge, this painting here. And by the way, it looks so much better than this in person. See how it's sort of blurry-ish? It doesn't look like that. But this painting right here was the one that was sitting on his easel when we went there to... After he died, the police found out we existed. And this was sitting on his easel. He had just finished it. It had never sold while he was alive. He was still painting it. But it sold for like 90,000 or something at that time. And then it actually, you know, now it's 40. I don't know why stuff would drop. But yeah, I think there was like a boom in art or something around that time. But look at that. Isn't that nuts? See how the difference in quality here as it was later? Who are you talking to, Tom? I'm going to get rid of this person. Just maybe come back in a couple days. All right. Let's see. Yeah, this is one of the ones that's 45,000. See, Freedom Run. See, look at the difference when his skill got better in the amount. Like this one's pretty awesome too. Look at this one's 40,000 also. That's a different one though. That's from an earlier time, even though it just looks so cool, you know. And then that one, I remember this one, Freedom Run. That one's amazing too, even though this one's small. But look at the lighting on that. Isn't that cool looking? Jeez. He was so good with clouds and stuff like that. You know, it's weird as I haven't seen like 90% of these. It's crazy. Or I'll start at the top. Oh, this is one of the later ones too. Are you guys interested in looking at these? I mean, just look how cool that looks. I mean, it's just freaking amazing. You can almost hear the water fall. Oh, yeah, this one, Xenu Night Woman. Zuni Night Woman. See, look how good that is. Look at the detail on the fingers and the hands and just everything about it. Look at the, right up there, that little sort of hint of a light on top of the pottery, the turquoise sort of jewelry on the fingers and everything. It's just so good, you know. go over there. Those are old. That's an old one there. I thought this one was great. And the funny thing is, he sort of makes it look like these pictures are his face. But look at the. I think this is incredible. Like, look at the hands there. You know, the sort of a little sweaty kind of, and the feet. I mean, look how good that is right there. Those feet with the sandals on and the little light hitting off the toe there. I mean, you gotta admit, like, that's way beyond like normal painting. Yeah, just I don't know, it's just so good. And he also did cartoon. He did let's see, cartoon cover when we were really young kids. Like 1960 something, he did Vampirilla magazine. You know, he did the cover for that. It's like a cartoon or something. Let's see. Yes, that one's there again. This one's a good one too. I always liked this one. This one looked like the house we lived in, because we lived in New Mexico. Looked just like that. Adobe house. Yeah, that's small. That one's 20 by 30 something. Never seen this one. Yeah, that's crazy. Look at that one. Man, Indian sitting right there. It looks totally realistic. I mean, look at these trees. That looks so real. The branches and yeah, there you go. Wow, so like 90% of those I don't even have, never even seen them. That's crazy. What was I just saying? I could show. Oh yeah, let's see. Bill Hughes Vampirilla magazine. Yeah, that's it. He made this cover right here. And the funny thing is yeah, I mean, it's so weird because the picture here, it's small. I can't show it to you. I have a larger version somewhere. Maybe I can go like this. Let's see if I click on that. Yeah, right over here. So that sort of looks like my dad, his face, but he didn't look, he was handsome. But I can see the basics of his face in there. And this is my mom. You know, he's like doing Vampirilla magazine. And so there he did that one. And then he also did this one right here. And again, see how that guy right there sort of looks like the other guy? That's what he looked like. That's sort of a profile here. And then there's the mom again doing... You know, so he did this one and that one, and I think there's another one out there. I did Bill Hughes comic magazine cover. Yeah, this one. That's the other one I was trying to remember. This creepy, like this one right here. He did this one. Creepy magazine. He did that shot. So those are the only three that I'm aware of, but kind of cool, right? And those are back in like 1960 something. I don't know what that one is. All right. Well, hey, cool, everybody. You got to see some random stuff. Oh yeah, what was I gonna do? What time is it? Maybe I'll save that tomorrow. We'll listen to the. Let's see if I can get permission from Ashley Banfield. Then we can watch the video. All right, sound good? All right. Yeah. Well, that you guys might want to see that. I mean, I've shown them before, but those are ones I've never shown before because I don't remember. I mean, I've never seen. I Like 50% of those, maybe 75% of them. I don't know where his, wish I could find that damn. Oh, wait, I just found, I just found the thing right here. So let me just zip through these. So these are one, like Canyon Passage, that one. These are kind of blurry, but, you know, these are all, that one's a really good one. That one's an awesome one, too. Look at the water and the lighting. That's another one. See, that kind of looks like the same cartoon character, because that's him again. That one I always liked, too. I think that was like Sunday afternoon or something. That one. This. See, these are all the other ones that I've had. So I got to go load those other ones up into this folder. There's that one. And again, now you can really see it. This one's a really better. I mean, look at that. Just insane. Yeah, this is one of my favorite ones right here, too. The water. And it's really clear, the real version. That's not a good one. We saw that one. This is another one I really like. Look at the simplicity of it. However, it just looks so awesome. You know, just simple brush strokes all around. It's not really deep. This is probably an early one, but the lighting and stuff is so awesome in that. There's that one again. Zuni Night Women. That's an image with clouds kind of going through the mountains. That was another one of the one we've seen. That one. Oh, you can see one. I actually made an image of. I took one of his paintings and recreated it one time. And that's how I got in. That's that one that was on his easel. Look how much better this version looked than the one that you saw. Yeah, I made, so after going over all of his stuff, I actually painted this one with a mouse. Like, you know how you mix colors, and I painted it around. The only difference is you can undo a mistake. But, you know, I put like a book there with the shadows. So I watched how he put shadows on things to create depth. So I thought, let me just try to do something. And I made this whole thing. And then after doing this, that's when I got into 3D animation, because it just sort of does it for you, the lights and everything. But, you know, I painted the mug and everything, and made the little scotch tape thing with a golf ball and a bottle of Coke and everything. I thought it was pretty good. What do you guys think? Pretty good, right? With the pencil and everything. So this was just like after seeing his stuff, I was able to do, I don't know, it was just kind of natural or whatever. But, I mean, I actually literally made this, just put it in there. But, you know, when you make a mistake with the computer, you just go undo and then try to paint it there. That's not one of his things there. Oh, and this is why I sketched this at the Art Institute. Some of the shadows are whacked out, but I think it's a pretty good sketch at the time. That was back in like 2002. That was pretty cool. I called it, I think it was Despair is what it was called. That's one of his other ones. Look at the cool lighting right over there. That's one. Another one. Ding, ding. That's a cool one. Lightning all over the place. Look at that. Yeah, we saw those. I guess I do have some of those other ones. Look how good that is. Looks real, like a photograph. Those are good. That's a good one, too. I'm going to skip that one. Like traders. Oh yeah, so this one right here, I redid this one. I don't know if I put my redoing. Oh yeah, I did. So see this one right here? So this is when I first took one of his paintings, and I just looked at it, I thought, God, that's just so amazing. You know, like right in here, just crap like right in there, right? Like here is this wood, and then it's dark here, and then the light there, and then the shadows and everything. That's what gives it the depth. Like just right here, the shadow under there, and just, I mean, look how amazing it is. Like snow on top of this mailbox, and then a little shadow underneath there to give it the pop or whatever you want to call it, to make it look like, you know, and then the icicles and the shadow. So now it just feels three-dimensional. So I remember spending like a week or something and redoing it on my own with a program called like MS Paint or something way back then, like 93 or something. And I think I did a pretty good imitation of it. It's coming up here in a minute. I can see it. Here, I'll show you that. So that was mine. That's just a really crappy photograph of it. But look at that. I mean, that's not bad, right? Like there's the mailbox, and it had the little poles there and everything, and it had the shadows. It's just I have it on my wall in the bathroom, actually, the one that I made. But I thought it looked pretty good. I mean, it had the lighting coming in over there, how it made it sort of lighter. So other than the fact that it's blurry as hell, like that's the original one is right here. You know, his is obviously 1,000 times better, but mine wasn't bad. You know, like after the fact. If you saw the original one, it looks a hell of a lot better than that one. But and I do have the comic books in here. They're coming up. Wait, that's one of my favorite ones too, right there. I mean, I think we already showed that one. So right here, see, there it is, Creepy Magazine and Vampirilla with creepy looking faces. And there it is again. So there you have it. Yeah, it wasn't too bad, right? I mean, I just did it with a mouse and a stupid paint program. But I was really just trying to figure out how the shadows give you the depth. And then I just sort of switched over into 3D stuff. Yeah, that was a pretty good one, too. Water magic. Yeah. Anyways, all right. There you go. Doot, 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 doot. I think I figured out what that was a couple days ago, but now I don't remember what that was. Yeah, the sunset one's the best, isn't it? All right, you guys. Thanks for being here tonight. We'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. And thanks for all the support for the channel tonight. You know, it wasn't too bad. Better than stick in the eye, you know. I'm just kidding. It was good. Yeah. So thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. And as I always say, didn't we get somebody? I think gotta thank somebody up here. Oh yeah, Alex, for your 5 gifted memberships there. Very cool. Very cool. Anyways, thanks everybody. Really appreciate it. We got Lisa Belson here now, new moderator. I always want to thank her and Kay Miller for the extra support that you guys give. It's really helpful. Makes a big difference. All right. Oh, you got coffees. Oh, let me go look. Yes, right. I haven't even checked my email during the show. Hold on. So we got a Linda sent a coffee in. Oh yeah, I never got to. I'll do the Olivia Gonzalez and Do you want me to play that one really quick? And then Lisa Valenzuela did a coffee. And Hold on. Autopsy performed by Spokane County, Washington medical examiner on contract. Autopsies are generally non-public pursuant to statute. Oh, well, that's too bad. So we might not ever get to hear about it. Okay, let me do I'll do this one really quick. Here it is. The Gonzalez.
So I have to keep this really brief, but in regards to some descriptions of autopsy photos that the state had planned to introduce as exhibits, I just wanted to offer a little bit of, my perspective that maybe will help lessen situation. I need to be very clear. I'm not talking anything specifically about Maddie, about Xana, about Ethan. I don't know anything specifically about them at all whatsoever. So I can only talk to my experiences.
This is from Julie sent this.
Regarding Kaylee's autopsy and questions that I've had for investigators and everything like that. So I just want to make that really clear. And there's really no easy way to say this. The gag order protected an absolute fucking monster. It's disgusting, but some of the wounds that were made to Kaylee were described as experimental. So a wound that might typically, in its presentation, look defensive, might not have necessarily been defensive.
Wow, like is this...
Because at some point he was
trying to
inflicting wounds that, I mean, any logical person would know wouldn't be fatal. So I don't want to speculate on, what exactly he was doing, whether it was to, just cause pain or whatnot.
That's crazy.
But, yeah. These wounds didn't necessarily make a lot of sense. They were described to me as experimental. And on Kaylee specifically, there was evidence that he continued the attack after she was no longer even fighting back. So just in light of that, just because there's a wound on a hand or a wound on a forearm or a wound on a wrist, these really, really classic defensive places, unfortunately we just can't make that assumption. And even if they were, the body reacts and there's reflexes to protect your face, your head, your neck, it doesn't mean that someone wasn't sleeping beforehand or was just briefly woken. So yeah. And also I want to add just really quickly, I don't want to fucking be doing this, but no one on the state side is standing up and giving details like this, and I get it to some extent, but it's creating like massive amounts of chaos, and I'm tired of ignoring it. So
I think the state should just come, I think the state should come forward and just give a, sit down and tell the whole story. You know what I mean? Why do we have to do all this? FOIA this, FOIA that, FOIA this, FOIA. Sit there for 3 hours and answer every damn question. And get people like me to ask the questions. Not the media never asks good questions. They just go in there and ask really stupid, high level shit that doesn't mean anything to anybody. Yeah, anyways, that's it, you guys. Thanks for being here. See you tomorrow, and as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5 and a 6 and a 7 and an 8. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person.
Not even once?
That is a... Not even once.
Crime dissector. Fact rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. I'm gonna get you on a stretcher.
If you try and play me like an old projector.
Crime sector
is my
nectar. Professor Gregor's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, yo, just remember I've a temple fucking check, yo. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work.
What the heck was that? That was terrible, Mary Lou.
Hey, shove it up. Shove it up your...
Forget it. All right, you guys. See you guys later. And... yeah, no problem, Lisa. Be safe out there.